Finally.
Hi.
What's up?
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
How are the babies? First of all, condolences for Frodo, right?
Yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah,
But
they're doing good. Yeah,
he's immortalized now. And you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
have
I mean,
taken him on one grand trip. And
that's
love to
true.
cruise and Nuri. I mean, I had Yoda here till she
Yeah,
decided
we
to
just
not be
saw
here
how's
anymore.
Yoda doing.
What is happening? What is happening? Okay, let's just start with the
Doing great
fact
here.
of, oh, look at her, just staring into the oblivion. She's like, I can see your soul.
Yeah, cats are a little strange, but we are learning. This is our first cat experience. We've had dogs quite a lot, quite a few dogs before, but first cat experience.
Really? Yeah, like, I mean, this lockdown made daddies and mommies out of a lot of people.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I was one of them. In fact, I never had an animal. I always wanted a pet, but I was like, yeah, I'm always traveling and I can't take care of them and I can't leave it on my
Yeah.
parents. And then I started living alone, and then I was living alone. And I was like, okay, now who will take care of them? And then lockdown happened. I went down to get alcohol, and delivery ke saath there was a little kitten that got
How
delivered.
sweet.
So
How
yeah, I
sweet.
came up with a beer and a cat, and then another one followed in 2 weeks later because I was like, yeah, this was low maintenance. I can do another. So I got another one, and then now they just like they're bloody independent now.
I
So
think
yeah,
cat
that
and a
was
pair is a good idea. They keep each other company.
busy. But then there's one thing that I've noticed. I've seen all these Instagram videos of all these cats coming and clinging on to you and all of that. That's only when they're single cats. The minute they
Yeah.
become
True.
double cats, they only cling to each other. You are like a food provider. They will come run and rub against your feet when they need food or when the litter needs to be cleaned. And
Yeah.
sometimes even when the litter needs to be cleaned, they'll just go poop outside. They're like, "Arey fuck it, I'm not." Like you didn't clean my tutty, it's not my problem. Anyway, so enough about me. You guys, how did Nuri happen to start with? Because you guys were like always dogs. And
Right.
Nuri, where did she
Yeah.
come from? How
So
did a cat come to the family?
So now, since the last almost 2 years, we've been a year and a half. We are kind of like planning our exit from the city and building a home in coastal side of Karnataka. We're
Right,
called
Prana.
yeah, Prana. So yeah, we were there looking at the construction of the site and everything, and then this
Mm-hmm.
little cat, like little kitten, just started
Beach
following
kitten.
us, like on the beach. So we were not sure why, this little cat was, just following us everywhere. He was with us the entire day, and then we asked the neighbors, what does this belong to someone? Because this little kitten was very friendly, so we
Okay.
were sure that it kind of belonged to someone. But then
Uh-huh.
the whole day passed. Nobody knew where this kitten had come from. It was time for us to go back. And Frodo and Cruz, so we have also kind of rented an apartment, like a small, not an apartment, but like a small place, house next to
Mm-hmm.
the, like closer to the construction site, so we can stay and look at the construction closely. So Frodo and Cruz are back home, and it was time for us to go home. And this Nuri, this cat, just started following us, and we even jumped in the car. We were like, okay, now what do we do? I guess we can't just leave this cat alone here. And that's how we kind of got her in and introduced. Initially we thought it was a her. We didn't know it was a him. So
Yeah.
we kept calling
Yeah.
him. We kept calling her Nuri, Nuri. But yeah, that's how she came in the pack. And the idea was never to adopt Nuri. It was just to take care of it for some time.
Foster her.
But yeah, foster and kind of like thought maybe when it'll become bigger, it'll just leave. So, but that was Nuri was just so attached to us and the dogs in a way that we would keep the doors and windows open, but Nuri would always be indoors with us. And then
Uh-huh.
after it was time for us to come back to Bombay, we were just too attached, so we decided to bring him back. And he's I mean, for us, because we travel so much, it's very important to get a pet or in the pack that is very used to the car and the idea of travel. And Nuri was since day one like a champ in the car. Like he was just so comfortable. He even uses the litter in the car while it's moving. So for us, like like the biggest thing.
That's
And
the deal sealer, like
yeah, we sealed the deal with Nuri,
yeah.
and now we travel with him everywhere.
Yeah, cats are too clean, they're too nice, and
Yeah,
but like they say, right? Cats choose you. You don't choose the cats.
true, true,
Yeah,
true.
You
yeah,
were
Yeah, this
chosen
was
by
the
Nuri.
classic example of that for sure.
yeah,
But
totally.
how was it introducing Nuri into the pack with Frodo and Cruz initially? How difficult or how easy was it?
Um, well, because Nuri was, was living on the streets or outdoors, so
Mm-hmm.
he's always been wary of dogs. That is like,
Mm-hmm.
he
We
was
wired
not,
that way.
yeah, they're wired like that. And Cruz is a really hyper dog, so he took a few days to like calm down and not jump on the cat and like crush the cat under his big feet. So we had to like restrain him for a few days. And Frodo is very gentle. Frodo is completely he's non like he doesn't confront at all.
Yeah,
He's just like
he's
okay,
also
then
used to
he's
cats.
also used to cats, but Frodo is like okay, this cat is not okay with me going close, so I won't go. He used to just like leave Nuri
Ignore,
alone.
yeah.
Yeah. But Cruz kept on trying and always like, oh, should I go now or no, and stuff like that. So for the first few weeks, Nuri had his own section next to our bed,
Okay.
dedicated with chairs and stuff, so that he should play, pee, poop in his little section. Dogs were not
Yeah.
allowed, so he was safe in that zone. Uh, but now after like now Nuri is like going to be turning a year. Uh,
Uh-huh.
Frodo is no more with us, but with Cruz has really calmed down. And Nuri also trusts him, but they don't trust each other enough to like cuddle.
Yeah, not
Like
yet.
they never like go like, hey, let's chill together. Like those cute Instagram videos that we keep like, wow, I will Cruz and Nuri do this. That's never know that's gonna happen ever. But they know that they are from the same family now. So they like chasing each other in the house, but from far only. Like they'll not go next to each other. Like this close is all they can get. That's it. They're never gonna
So
be like,
they
hey, what's up?
Probably in the future, I don't know.
I don't know.
probably in the future, fingers crossed,
Yeah. Nuri
You
is
never
they
like,
know.
if
coexist.
it comes like this close, he just put his hand, paw like, like that's it. That's
Yeah,
the
enough.
distance. One arm distance, like, please maintain.
Yeah, but I think it was also because we kept them at that distance and they could still watch each other in the initial days. I think because for Cruz, Nuri is like TV, he just loves just looking at Nuri and Nuri is just doing her random things and it's just like entertainment. And also taking them for walks together also like kind of helped bond together. So we would like
Uh-huh.
we have to take Nuri down for walks as well because he gets very cranky inside. So we take both of them for walks together and stuff. So that also I think helped in bonding. And we're hoping that one day they cuddle and sleep together. But now it's going to take a while.
Wow. So, but like, so I know for a fact that when I introduced Effie to Yoda, who's the black cat and the other one,
Yeah,
Yoda was literally just 2 weeks older into the house.
right.
Territorial,
Yeah.
hissing and
Yeah.
clawing and like fangs. And Effie just sat there and like, you mad, bro?
Yeah, I mean
And
they have the
eventually, yeah,
strong
they had to be
personality. Yeah,
separated for some time and then slowly introduced around food. Like basically, internet came to the rescue and introducing them to
yeah,
each other
Yeah.
eventually. But I can imagine with a dog it's here because I tried making Yoda meet a dog the other day, literally last week, through a
Huh.
glass door.
Yeah.
She jumped and peed at the same time.
Oh God. Oh God, that's
So, so yeah, I think my cats aren't ready for a dog yet. But tell me, how did you start traveling with Frodo and Cruz? How long back was that? I mean, I've been following your Instagram. I know it.
Right.
I've seen it. You had the Thar, you had all of that happening. But
yeah,
how did it become a thing the very first time?
I think the day we found Nuri itself was his first car drive. And that
yeah.
I think that time he was like 2 months old or something, maybe or less. We are not
Mm.
sure, but probably that age.
Wow.
And he was on his first drive itself, he was very comfortable. Like he probably meowed for like 5 minutes, and then he just chilled on the dashboard, like looking
Yeah.
at the trees go
Yeah.
by and the birds and stuff.
But there is with Frodo and Cruz you asked, right?
With
Yeah,
Frodo,
I asked from the very beginning,
From
at
the
the very
beginning.
beginning.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Then that I think, yeah, that was a while back, man. Like when I moved to India, like I always wanted a dog,
oh,
and
okay,
I
okay.
and I grew up in Muscat. So then, when I came to India, I was living by myself, and like you said, I grabbed that opportunity to like get a dog home, and that's how Frodo came into the picture. But then quickly I realized that like my second passion was exploring and traveling, and they couldn't go hand in hand. Like motorcycles, like I would love traveling on a bike, but getting a dog was also like a big, like sort of like an anchor to keep
Responsibility.
me in responsibility. So slowly I started taking him for drives, and I realized it wasn't difficult at all. In fact, Frodo was very adjusting and stuff. So that's how my small trips travel started happening. And then like 5 years back, I moved to Bombay, and I met Priyanka. And at that time, even she was in the process of getting a dog, adopting a puppy. And I told her about my ideas of traveling with Frodo one day, and she had the same thought process. So then we kind of like joined hands and started traveling on a smaller road trip. And cruise has pretty much grown up in the backseat of our car. It's just like been on the road since day one. And initially the trips were smaller. This was 5 years back. We started exploring around Bombay, Pune, Maharashtra, then Goa, some bits of Karnataka. And at that time, like this was a while back, traveling with dogs wasn't very popular. So while we were doing we started putting content online on our personal channels, and we realized that we were getting a lot of interest from people, and people wanted to know more of how to do it, where do you stay, how do you get dogs used to the car, and all of that. So that's when we decided to come up with this identity online called Wheels and Tails, so that we could put all our content in like one place and have everyone follow that. So that's how Wheels and Tails came into the picture almost like 4 years back, or
Yeah,
three and
oh
a
yeah,
half, 4 years back. And since then, we kept pushing our boundaries and extending further, further, further. And now, pretty much like we've pretty much done like most parts of India with our dogs, and yeah, so that's how it started off for us.
And so, what started off as a social media content platform channel, which
Yeah,
involved mixing work with pleasure and just monetizing it at the same point of time. How did it
yeah,
become a TV show? You guys have a TV show coming up, Sony BBC Earth,
yeah.
yeah.
as Life Off The Leash, where you took Frodo and Cruz. When did you shoot that? Or Fate, before you even start that, how did it happen?
So, 7th December 2018, we
Oh,
left for
damn.
uh, crazy journey across India.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not meant to be for any show or anything. It was a journey that we both have been thinking of doing for a long time.
Took a while to plan also.
And we took we took a year, almost more than a year to plan it. We started planning in mid of 2016. We started planning, and finally we were like, "Listen, let's just put a date to this, and let's just do
Yeah,
it."
because it was more like we were outside having dinner, and we started, talking about, okay, how, like now we traveled quite extensively around Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka.
Hmm.
We have in mind, and I always wanted to take Frodo to the snow, and she always wanted to take cruise to the, beaches of Rameshwaram and stuff like that. So that's how the bucket list came along, and bucket list kept increasing, and we never really thought at the time that we would actually end up doing it. But then, like she said, after a while, we just set a date that, okay, we have a year from now. No matter what happens, no matter what sponsorship we get or whatever, we just leave. And that's how we started working backwards. We came up with the route of what we want to do, then the budget, and then we started working backwards towards how, I mean, obviously, how much can you reduce the budget, because being on the road for 4 months is a big cost. And that's when we went out in the market and kind of started reaching out to sponsors, and using our social media platform as a way to get barter deals and stuff.
Yeah, but at that time, honestly, our social media
Wasn't that big.
wasn't that big.
That's
We
true.
just went
Mm-hmm.
to people with a crazy dream,
Yeah.
and we just
So
told them, "Listen, we have this dream, and we really want to do this. So,
yeah,
can you help us out?" And touch wood, we were very lucky to meet a lot of nice people in the industry who were like, "Yeah, man, like totally, we would love to be a part of your journey." It was
yeah. It
at
was a
that
unique
time.
thing
It
also.
was At that time, it was not even anything about like, "Hey, it's gonna." be this or it'll become this big and stuff. And then on the journey, so many people started following us from so many different places, like all across India, because there was all the stickers on our cars,
Yeah.
that follow the journey. So people used to log in. Many times we used to have certain followers drive past our car and then DM us like, "Hey, we're driving
Yeah.
behind you," and we just started journey and stuff. So in that way, it just snowballed into a journey that was bigger than the four of us. It became more of a community. This thing, like where people every day they were following, like where we are going, where we are, what we are eating, what are the dogs up to,
Helping us out as well.
helping us out as well. So it showed a really good side of social media, actually, a really kinder and nicer side of social media.
Yeah.
And
And creating content was anyway like we both love, documenting our adventures. And right before we left for the trip, we also, became a part of the GoPro family. So we had the equipment to kind of document it. And like she said, like we knew we were doing something unique, and we knew that this could become something at some point of time. So we made sure we documented the entire journey as it is, like, all the problems we faced, all the people we met, all the beautiful sights we saw, and all the reactions of people looking at dogs and dogs looking at other people, dogs reacting to the different terrain, beautiful country. So it just like then by the time we got done with the trip, we were sitting on this, gold of like content gold, of my God, like 4 months worth of content is just so much to do with it. And then I think then we kind of never really we got caught up with other things, and we have our own digital marketing company that we have to run and stuff. We never really chased it that much, but we were putting out smaller pieces of content from the trip on our social media, and that's when in 2020, Shruti from Sony BBC Earth, she's also one of our followers. She got in touch with us saying that, hey, I really love what you guys put out, and we want to do something together. Do you have something in mind? And I thought we have like an entire show ready with us. So the conversation began in the mid of last year, and then now eventually, we got in touch with the production house, Adapt Studios, who is kind of helping us package the entire thing together,
Right.
make
put the stories together
put stories together,
and basically concise all the, because for us it's like crazy amount of footage, right? Like for us to like put the stories together, it
Yeah.
needs another set of eyes to look at it from a more distant, from an outside view to like put it all down together. So that's what.
Yeah. So then Adapt Studios came into picture. We got a really good director, writer on board to help us out, Viraj. And yeah, and now we have our own show.
That's excellent. So basically, you put it out there and things just rolled
Yeah.
into motion.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying that you guys mostly shot on GoPros, right? So
Right.
including your video and audio and all of that. And I mean, having worked in television, I know they have generally very high levels of QC standards in terms of audio, and like the levels have to be below zero point 0.2 or above between 2 or whatever. So how are you guys taking care of that, considering when you shot it, it wasn't planned to be on television. So how are you guys
Right.
taking care of it in post? I mean, sorry, this is a very technical and
No,
unnecessary
that's it's
question,
a very
but
good question.
Yeah.
The thing is, the uniqueness of the show is that it's a completely self-shot show. So it's being presented like that. There is, I mean, we are very clear that there was no crew with us. There was
right,
no production crew with us who was following us with a camera. It's all us. It's either handheld or rigged cameras. So I think it will also give a lot of ideas to a lot of new creators to how to be completely self-reliant.
Yeah. And also, I
right.
think beyond that, you also, I mean, and this full credit goes to our production house also, who's kind of, putting this all together. Apart from the fact that GoPro now has like really good audio that
Yeah.
captures. I mean, the GoPros earlier ones, I think 4, 5, 6 were not
Didn't have
like
much audio
not
setup
that, but now
friendly.
it's pretty good. And
Yeah.
obviously, we have the production house, Adapt Studios, is like they have sound engineers who are like clearing the audio out properly. There are some parts which have been redubbed in a way that, if there's a lot of
Right.
noise,
Yeah.
so it's all about packaging it right. But like she said, the charm of the show is that it's so raw and it's so, it's so pure in a way that there's no script to it in a way that while we were traveling, there was no script. Obviously, scripts were added later. But the entire charm of the show is that these four individuals have gone on this beautiful adventure and they are just taking life as it comes, and just enjoying and facing obstacles and getting past them.
Yeah.
So the entire charm is like that. But yeah, the full credit goes to our production house, which is like doing.
Full credit goes to you guys to first have the balls to do it. So please take that credit for yourself, and then the next credit goes to production house for packaging it. So tell me this, Prana, the homestay, the artist retreat. I mean, I don't know if I'm getting it right, the stuff that you're planning to classify it into. How did that happen?
Uh, so Prana has been again a dream project that has been in the making for the last, I think, 4 years or so. When
Mm-hmm.
uh, we started getting built in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's all going to due to complete this year. So by end of this year. But the thing about the idea and hunting for the perfect piece of land started 4 years back.
Right.
Again, a crazy idea that came up, and I told my parents also about it, and we had also just met. So some of our early date travels were
Yeah,
land hunting
that's true. I
travels.
mean, yeah, I mean, initially when I met Priyanka, she always had that that I want to buy a land next to the beach, and I mean, all our initial first dates were us traveling to Gokarna, us traveling to South Goa, us traveling to Prana. I mean, not to coastal side of the country, just to like look at land. And I would just be like, "Huh, let's do it," and eventually, I also got majorly involved in it as well. And that was back in 2016 that we started this, and then 2020 is finally when the construction over there began.
Yeah.
And right now it's almost complete. I think we're hoping that if things go well, we shall open doors to outsiders. I mean, other people by the end of this. So really excited for it. I mean, I mean, the word prana means energy, and I think the entire the space has such powerful energy and such positive vibes that we got when we went there. We want other people to experience that as well. So really excited for that.
Yeah, and I
And
think
it does.
one of the really fun aspects of it is like we are learning so many new things that
Yeah.
usually that you wouldn't pay attention to, like because we are building the house from scratch, from literally from the ground up. So we've seen it through the foundation, through the first stone, and through the first drainage pipe and
Yeah, never
plumbing
knew,
and
never knew where our ship was. I mean, and up until now we have now we know where septic tank goes and all of that. So learning a lot of things is fun.
yeah, which is it's really fun.
And and what exactly is it going to be like at Prana? What are you guys planning to cater to? Like, what's your TG? Are we looking at like
Right.
fancy boutique things? Are we looking at a hostel type thing? Are we looking at an artist retreat where you just come and rent a room for a few months? What's it gonna
Yeah.
be like?
So, Prana, firstly, is going to be our home because we are going to
Okay.
be, and secondly, it is going to be an artist retreat and homestay, more of like a long stay kind of a thing where we would want, because we are creating a very nice co-working space,
Creative space.
creative space. So we would want like other creators or um, artists to like come live and work there. So we're looking at
Mm-hmm.
a longer format of sorts, like make it like your home rather than like
Resort.
a resort. It's not a. It's definitely not a resort. It's definitely not something that you can rent for a day or so. Because also the
Right.
space is such you would want to stay back for a few days or rent
Right.
it out for a little longer bit to
Mm-hmm.
feel at home. So because it's we are part of like the village community, so it's not like we are totally away from neighbors and stuff. So it is a very community simple sort of a feel.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'm looking forward to it.
You must
So
You
visit.
must,
what's
you must.
I will. I will. I mean, how do you even get there? How far is it from travel? Like, do you have to do a road trip? Do you have to fly? What's it gonna be
So
like?
It is best accessible by road. Obviously, if you enjoy road trips, I mean, also this is, I would say, the practical way of traveling now. So it's about
Mm-hmm.
15 hours from Bombay, but you can always stop by in Goa, or you can stop by at the border.
Nipani.
Nepani, there are some really nice homestays and properties on routes that you can like stop for the night. We can help you with that as well. Or else,
Even flying is an option.
flying is an option. You'll have to either fly to Goa or to
Mangalore.
Mangalore.
Mangalore is
So
closer, I think.
yeah,
It's 2.5 hours away from here.
from the
And
airport.
Oh,
if you
sweet.
are and also there's also the best option that will drop you right at the door of Prana or the village of Prana is train. That you know you
Yeah,
can take an overnight train from Bombay, and it's a really fun. I mean, I used to travel by train when I would come to India back in the day when I was in Muscat, and I would really enjoy it. And after that, I never really did it. But I think 2 years back we did the did a train trip to Prana. It was a lot of fun. It was a
yeah,
lot of memories came back, and train travel we don't do nowadays. But that
yeah,
that leads you straight
Yeah.
into an
yeah.
overnight trip.
How has COVID affected your plans in the middle of all of this? Has it helped, in fact, or has it been a hindrance, or has it been a little bit of both?
I mean, of course, COVID has affected our lives as well in terms
Yeah.
of travel plans. But I don't know, like, maybe, I mean, everyone's story is different. For us, uh, I mean, 2020, the entire year we were, in Prana, which worked out great for us because all the labor and, you know, construction people who are involved in the project are all like from the village. So,
Mm-hmm.
they had work through the year, and we had our work going on without it getting stopped. It wasn't a problem for us, and it was a product of the year for us. We got a lot of done because they were completely focused on my project at that time. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but otherwise, I think, yeah,
but we couldn't really go anywhere else. That we were only there. So
and otherwise, I think, obviously we have a business on the side as well, where we help brands do marketing and stuff. So that way it did affect a bit, where obviously marketing spends for brands have gone
yeah,
down, and
Right.
it did affect us in that sense. But yeah, man, I mean, like I read somewhere that this 2020 and 21 is all about living and being alive, so just happy to be safe and
yeah,
being able to do what we love, and I mean, in a way it's also good because our show is coming out, so we have some time to focus on that as well.
yeah. I mean, even now,
Right.
like the way that could have anyways traveled because
Yeah.
we are getting so much work done in terms of the show. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I mean, otherwise, I think there would always be like, hey, we've gone there, but we can't because of this. But now we actually can't go
So
anywhere.
yeah, worked out.
Nice. That's an interesting chat that's been, and you've got things to look forward to. In fact, I'm looking forward to see Life of the Leash. I'm looking forward to live at Prana. So you've got so many exciting things happening. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Hoping
Thank
to
you.
meet you guys soon.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully someday Yoda will not get freaked out by Cruz and pee on him. But either way,
You should
till
make Yoda
then.
and Nuri meet, yeah.
Nuri is a very friendly cat. Actually, he loves other cats.
So the thing with Yoda, okay, is that she is a how do I explain it? Okay, so for example, the neighbor has a cat, okay, and there's a balcony differentiating the two houses because their cats probably when they came they put that grill in. So Yoda from this side of the grill will go there, get the other cat to come to that snap at the
Oh God.
cage. Yeah, literally. But let's have seen this. Yoda's like all a hisser and growler as long as she's
Shit.
protected. The minute that protection's taken away, she's gone. Like she runs in the opposite direction. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's her insecurity which comes out in her aggression. Like
Right.
she's a chiller
Ah.
cat, otherwise she'll be found like this, like hands up, legs up all the time. But when she sees other creatures, she gets territorial. So I don't know
Yeah.
how she'll react, but that should be fun. Effie will just, you won't be able to find Effie. Effie fucks off. She'll be like, I'm here, I'm gone.
But
So
yeah, we'll
yeah, but
figure
we can
something out.
try. But we should meet. We humans should meet and talk
For
about
sure.
the
For
little
sure.
fur babies. And thank you for being a part of the
Dude,
conversation. It's
thanks
been
for
fun
having
Thank you
us.
having
so
you.
much, Jyoti.
Best of
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
luck
you.
and see you on the other side. And thank you all for tuning
Cheers.
in. Goodbye. Bye bye.